Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Bruce, aka Haunted Husband, and welcome to Reaction. Some pieces move, some pieces fall. A piece or two might end up tumbling some more. At least that's how things usually go during your average game of Reaction. You swing your paddle left and right in order to push the pieces towards the evacuation shafts. Getting some of that precise timing for the play area inevitably spills into the game over. So it's basically a physics-based puzzler of sorts. It's very interesting. It's not something I normally would play. It's not even something I would normally think about playing, to be honest with you. But it was very intriguing, and the developer got in touch with me on Twitter and sent me a link to the itch.io. Says, hey, you're looking for games to play. Here's a demo of the game I'm making. Go check it out. So I'm like, I gotta go check this out. So here we are. Without further ado, let's learn to play. The goal of the game is to use your paddle to direct the pieces towards the shafts of each slide, getting some precious little time before the play area only spills and it's game over. A piece counts as carried if you either evacuate it or destroy it by using power-ups. Each time you carry a piece, you get a point for each of the sides. So triangle means 3 points, so forth and so on. The glowing metallic pieces with markings on the inside are power-ups. You can evacuate them by touching them with your paddles or avoid and evacuate them by massive amounts of points. So it tells you how much the shapes are worth and the pieces and power-ups. You probably can barely hear the music, but the music bangs. It's like very Middle Eastern, very Egyptian-esque, like Moroccan type of music. And all every once in a while, like this gong just comes in and just blows my eardrums out. I love it. So we're going to play alone because there's nobody else to play with me. That didn't sound right. And let's just play. Let's don't customize anything. Let's just get the... These are our paddles. We're going to go boom, 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 boom. Get out of here. Oh, that was no good. So what stops you just from doing this? I'm curious, is there anything that just stops me from just being able to let's leave it at a certain degree of angle and they just all fall in? So if we're only on speed 2, difficulty 1, so that's... So the squares can get kind of chunked in there, that's fine. Okay, I understand that. So, but most pieces just fall right in. It's kind of hard not to touch it with your paddle. Because it falls right in the middle, like there's no way to avoid it. See, like... I was just trying to see, like, if I could move my paddle out of the way. It's just... There's no ability for that to happen. Okay. Now I see the error of my ways. Let's just get back to being cheap about it. So a couple squares can really jam up the waterworks here. So that's probably ducked up. So yes, there is a system in place that keeps you just from just angling in and just being like, oh, I did my job. I need to get that square unstuck. There we go. Stupid squares are the worst ones. So yes, now I understand the complexity of the game. Get the squares out of here, man. Let's just churn it a little bit. Get a little churn action going. It's those squares. Okay, why aren't the hexagons going down, or the octagons? So we're about to get him over here, for sure. Yeah, squares suck. I hate squares. So we end up with a score of 877. So these are... Is I, Bruce. So the high score is 300 pieces at 3200. That's a lot of pieces. Play alone. What is customize? You can change the speed. Speed goes up to 7. Wow, okay. Not sure what expressions are. Now we'll play it like it's meant to be played. We're not going to monkey around with it too much. Maybe expressions are the shapes right there that have like eyeballs. So for the first little bit, at least, you can just kind of like feed the tubes. It's up to the squares start coming that you get into a little bit of a problem. Well, that didn't take long. Really? Squares? I mean, there's nothing I can do about it. So maybe feed the squares one direction. Feed all the rest of the pieces a different direction. Is that a plausible strategy? I don't know. All you squares can go over and get fucked. Alright, you basic shapes, don't be chalking up the channel. What are you chalking up the channel for? So we're off to a worse start this time, because the squares have utterly shut down all production. So yeah, it's official, you heard it here first. Squares are exactly the worst shape in the world. Kind of using this triangle as a stopgap to keep those squares flat against the wall. So this video probably won't be as long as other videos. I mean, because this is the game. You know, this isn't like someone's gonna come out with a gun and start blasting shapes out of the oblivion. I haven't gotten any power-ups. No! Churn, 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 churn! Yes, squares are a piece. Alright, and let's just play one customization game before we end this. It's going to be like super freaking crazy. We're going to start speed 7, difficulty 5. No power-ups, expressions on. Look at those expressions. Oh, does difficulty mean just squares? Because that's what it looks like to me. Man, it only took like a few seconds to get this all mixed up and mashed up. Oh, come on. So we only get 79 pieces on our little... But it was fun, though. So this has been Reaction. There'll be a link in the description below to the itch.io page to where you can go pick it up for yourself and give it a try. It's fun. It's challenging. It's like a... Kind of reminds me of that game in like Mario Party where you have to get the candies out of the jar by moving it and changing, sort of like that, but not to like that degree because you just have to paddle and it's going back and forth. But it's definitely it causes you to use your mind and trying to figure out spatial awareness and shapes. But it's fun. But man, do I hate squares. If you liked the video, I ask you to like, comment, subscribe as always. Helps me out for the YouTube analytics and just my self-esteem personally. And I'll be back at it again tomorrow with some more indie demos. Until then. Oh, that gun's going. Hold on a second. I'll hunt you later.